Universalist ministers who will remain unnamed just to keep things somewhat suspenseful, let people wonder which Unitarian Universalist ministers are in fact guilty of such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. I mean, since the lawyer didn't identify who he was talking about, why should I? I mean, I've already thrown a name or two out there, but there's more. There's more names of other Unitarian Universalist ministers who are guilty of pedophilia and rape, who I haven't actually spoken about very loudly and publicly yet. Saving that for a rainy day. But I think, one of my New Year's resolutions will be to blog about a few more cases of pedophilia and or rape committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers or Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers in the new year 2017. What other New Year's resolutions do I have? One thing I'm going to do is give UUA President Reverend Dr. Peter Morales a final opportunity to formally withdraw the UUA's false blasphemous libel accusation and publicly apologize for it. But we'll give him a limited amount of time to do that. And I think maybe I'll send him an email soon and give him until Groundhog Day to withdraw the false accusation and apologize for it. What other New Year's resolutions can I make in terms of Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy? Well, I'll continue to bask in the glory of being accused of blasphemy until such a time as that accusation is formally removed and retracted. It's always a happy New Year when you're accused of blasphemy by Unitarians.
Oh.
Hello?
I'm just here by invitation.
Oh, really? Okay.
But what does this refer to?
Basically unsafe aspects of Unitarian Universalism in general, but including clergy sexual misconduct, anti-religious intolerance and bigotry on the part of some of the atheist members of the church.
Let's see, atheist. Yeah, they have atheists.
Yes, they do. And amongst them, not all of them, but a subset of those atheists are essentially anti-religious atheists. So if you believe in God, especially perhaps if you're a Christian, you can expect to be insulted and condescended and otherwise...
I've never been insulted yet, but then I've only been here once.
Still plenty of opportunity then.
Really?
Oh, believe me, it's not uncommon. I mean, I'm not talking about just this church. I mean, I personally been deeply insulted by atheist members of the church, but
really?
It's actually very common. If you go on the internet, there's lots of stories about God-believing people who went to Unitarian Universalist churches and were insulted by the atheists in the church. So it's not a rare thing. But that's not the only thing I'm protesting.
Let's see. Atheists,
UUs, that's Unitarian Universalists. That's just a
are
acronym.
Accusing me of blasphemy.
Yeah, and they are.
Oh.
I got a legal letter from... Stikeman Elliott Barristers and Solicitors, litigation lawyer.
Oh, I see.
And it was sent on behalf of the Unitarian Universalist Association, which is, the head office of Unitarian Universalism in North America.
Okay.
And they're accusing me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel for blogging about Unitarian Universalist pedophiles and rapists. So,
that I don't get that part.
Well, I don't get it either because it's completely ludicrous. But they accused me of this crime.
Well, even the Catholic Church has that.
Right.
The Catholics have pedophilia in the priests.
Well, every group of any size is going to have a certain amount of it. But they want. I blogged about a few cases.
Yeah.
And
you know about a few cases.
I know about a few cases. Yes. I know about more cases than I blogged about. But anyway, they wanted me to remove the blog posts. They wanted them to disappear. And so they accused me of this crime in an effort to intimidate me into removing the blog posts. So it didn't work out so well for them.
Okay.
So yeah, it's basically, but it's just quite frankly insane for Unitarians to accuse someone of blasphemy for any reason whatsoever. But to accuse someone of blasphemy in order to hide pedophilia and rape is pretty well beyond the pale. But that's exactly what happened. So that's one of the things I'm protesting. So
the rapes are committed by people who are ministers?
Ministers and Sunday school teachers, and the occasional lay person too. And there's not saying there's a huge epidemic, but there are some cases of Unitarian Universalist ministers raping people, and there's cases of Unitarian Universalist ministers molesting preteen children. So that's pedophilia.
Well, that's the same in Catholic schools.
Exactly. As I said, any group of a certain size is going to have some of that happening. And the crazy thing is, instead of dealing with it properly, they try to hide it as much as possible. Instead of admitting it and saying, yes, we do have this problem and we're dealing with it, they're trying to keep it hidden. In fact, UUA moderator Jim Key, so this is like the chairman of the board of the head office in Boston, he delivered an apology for clergy sexual misconduct during
head office is in Boston?
Yes, it's in Boston, yeah.
Oh, I thought Christian Science is in Boston.
Well, they might be too, and there might be a few others, but Unitarian Universalism, the main office of the North American branch is in Boston.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It used to be at 25 Beacon Street, and they moved down to another address recently because they couldn't afford the building anymore. But anyway, in 2014, the moderator, who's the chairman of the board of trustees, he delivered an apology to victims of misconduct, sexual misconduct.
Okay.
And in that apology, and these are his exact words, he said, there were no incidents of abuse of children or elders in my investigations. So this is taken from his apology. This is exactly what he said. So he's essentially saying, I investigated clergy sexual misconduct and I found no evidence of abuse of children or elders. I personally told them about some of the cases of pedophilia and rape. And I sent them emails and so on. So the guy's just a huge liar.
This is kind of like Trump commenting on the Russians.
Something like that, yeah.
You got the wrong person.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I'm having lots of fun with it. So you go in. I'm not stopping you from going in. Go and enjoy yourself. Yeah, Happy New Year, and thanks for.
I'm only here about once a year.
Yeah, well, thanks for having the chat. I appreciate it. So this guy, comes once a year. Oh, and yes, we got it all recorded. That's good. Wasn't sure if the camera kept recording or if it might have. We got a bit of a nice sunset going there. So, so we had a very nice conversation with this fellow, engaging in free and responsible search for the truth and meaning of what's on my picket signs. And, I think he sort of got the picture, and he's right, And other people like, to make this point is that, in some ways, the Unitarian Universalists are really no different than the Roman Catholic Church. Not only in terms of, well, how can I put it? I mean, because it's such a small religion compared to the Roman Catholic Church, obviously there's not as many cases of pedophilia and rape and so on committed by Unitarian Universalist clergy. And I've never at any time said there's this huge epidemic, but there are cases, and in some cases the ministers have been charged, tried, convicted, and went to jail. Same can be said for Sunday school teachers. But why try to hide that? Why try to pretend it doesn't exist? Just deal with it. Be open and tell the truth. But they can't seem to bring themselves to do that, and they insist on accusing me of blasphemy to try and intimidate me into shutting up about it. And on top of that, they brazenly lie in an apology to clergy sexual misconduct victims, So they're prepared to acknowledge that, yes, there's a certain number of victims of clergy sexual misconduct, but they can't seem to bring themselves to admit to a certain amount of sexual abuse of children by Unitarian Universalist ministers. Something strange going on there that they just can't seem to admit to that. and even brazenly lie about it. On that note, I think we're going to be wrapping up this protest pretty soon. There's really quite a nice little sunset. I'll just zoom in to get some color there, a little bit of pink there. Tends to wash out when the camera's exposing for the buildings that are in shadow and so on. But yeah, I think we're done. I think that will end on the note of that conversation, and I do have some photos I want to take, specifically of the moon and Mars and Venus. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Mars and Venus. Yeah, we're gonna call it a day. Head back and get some proper cameras rather than my El Cheapo disposable riot cam, as I call it. It's actually not that cheap. It's a camera that new is worth about $400, but I got it cheap used, and it's not really disposable, but I'm not going to risk an expensive camera filming this stuff because, you know, I do get assaulted occasionally, and was in fact assaulted not so long ago by David Horn, and he smashed the camera. He actually damaged it. It doesn't always autofocus properly. But yeah, just got about a minute of recording left. We're just grabbing our stuff and we're gonna head home, take a picture or two, and it's been a slice, as they say, especially that final conversation there with the guy. So yeah, we're just gonna wander on home and go out again and take a couple of urban astrophotography pictures. That's it, we're done. So Happy New Year 2017, January 1st, Sunday.